Thank you, Mr Acting Speaker. And I rise to contribute to the Strengthening Community Safety Bill 2023. And let me say at the outset, from the opposition's perspective, this is all about consequences for actions. Consequences for those juvenile offenders who are ripping this state apart, who are breaking into houses, stealing cars at levels never seen before in Queensland, and thumbing their noses at the law. And isn't it ironic, Mr Acting Speaker, that as we stand here debating this bill, right now unfolding on the streets of Townsville, a stolen vehicle is attempting to ram police vehicles. This government has failed the victims across Queensland at a time when they were looking for hope, for real action and changes to youth justice laws. They have been let down. It was this government that went out and said increasing the maximum penalty for unlawful use of a motor vehicle to 10 years, or if a circumstance of aggravation to 12 years, or 14 years. But we now know that's not possible. And if you don't believe me for those opposite, look up the sections in the Youth Justice Act. Thank you, Mr Acting Speaker. This should be called out for what it is. It is a sham, and the Premier and the Minister should hang their heads in shame at their attempt to mislead the Queensland public. They went out with this 10-point plan, their Get Tough on Juvenile Crime in Queensland, and we now know that it can't work. That the maximum penalty, if you're in a magistrate's court, is 1, and if you're in a superior court, as a district court, it's 7. So the 10, 12 and 14 all of a sudden doesn't apply. If community safety comes first, which is what we are being told again, you must unshackle the judiciary and let them do their job. It is now on the record that those who voted against my motion have sent a clear signal. Despite what they say in this place, despite what they say on Facebook, they have voted to ensure the rights of the offender outweigh the rights of the victim. Now, it is undeniably a backflip to speak against something 7 times in this House and then back it publicly. But even the member for Thuringowa's backflip doesn't compare to the member for Morayfield, who not only voted against my amendment and now supports it, he has copied my amendment word for word. When it comes time for this bill to be voted on, we will see the hypocrisy of the member for Thuringowa and the member for Morayfield etched in stone. We will also see that almost 2 years after they had the chance to do so, they have finally put Queenslanders ahead of their own ego. I mentioned earlier the importance of consequences for action. This government is on notice from the people of Queensland, and especially from victims of crime. For too long, there has been inaction. For too long, you have denied there was a problem. And as a government, it is your responsibility to ensure the safety of all Queenslanders. And if you fail to act, the consequences will be felt by victims in the short term and by your government in October 2024.